Are you into the domain where you need to improve quality and where you need to determine potential problems and their impact? So let's explore FMEA with us. Hey folks, welcome back to Learn Transformation, and if you are not subscribed yet, you are missing out. What is FMEA? FMEA stands for Failure Mode Effect Analysis. FMEA is a step-by-step approach which uses numerical assignments to find out the risk associated with each input. FMEA is a risk assessment tool which evaluates the severity, occurrence of all possible ways a process or product could fail, and detection of risk to prioritize which ones are the most urgent. So FMEA is a tool which determines potential problems and their impact. What does FMEA asks and answers? FMEA aims to remove or reduce failures and starts with the highest priority ones. So it asks questions like, what could go wrong? Why did the failure occur? How likely is this failure, and what could be the consequences of each failure? So FMEA is an energetic approach that is applied early in development to help designers create quality and reliable processes from the beginning and continues throughout the life of the product or service. The two most famous types of FMEAs are Design FMEA, which is DFMEA, and Process FMEA, which is PFMEA. Now let's see the criteria for FMEA analysis. An FMEA uses three criteria to assess a problem. First, the severity of the effect on the customer. Second, how frequently the problem is likely to occur. And third, how easily the problem can be detected. So as you can see in this diagram, the severity of 1 indicates low risk to the end consumer and a score of 10 indicates high risk to the consumer. Similarly, the occurrence of 1 indicates low probability of the risk happening and the 10 indicates the very high probability of risk happening. And detection of 1 indicates a process that will likely catch a failure, and a 10 means that process will likely not catch a failure. When scoring of every category is done for every risk, the three scores are multiplied together, which means severity multiply occurrence multiply detection, which is equal to risk priority number RPN. And then RPNs are sorted from largest to smallest, and actions are taken on the top risk in order to reduce the complete risk. As in this diagram, the RPN of the yellow blocks is 10 cross 8 cross 8, which is 640, and of the green block is 10 cross 1 cross 8, which is 80. Now that you are aware of criteria for FMEA analysis, let's see how to set FMEA priorities and how to make FMEA corrective actions. For setting FMEA priorities, after the failure modes have been identified, the team should adjust the FMEA to record failures in descending RPN order, which depends on many factors like industry standards, legal or safety needs, quality control, etc. But a beginning point for prioritization is to apply the Pareto rule, which is typically 80% of issues are caused by 20% of potential problems. It means teams can concentrate initially on the failures with the top 20% of highest RPN scores. After setting priorities, you have to make FMEA corrective actions. When the priorities are clear, one of the team's final step is to develop right corrective actions for decreasing the occurrence of failure modes or at least for improving their detection. Once corrective actions have been finished, the team should meet again to reassess and rescore the severity, probability of occurrence, and likelihood of detection for the top failure modes. This will enable them to determine the effectiveness of corrective actions taken. Generally, the severity can't be reduced, so the team should find ways to reduce occurrence or increase detection. After actions are completed, the RPNs are recalculated and new risks are determined. Let's have a quick look on benefits of FMEA. The first, it's cost effective, it shortens lead time, it formalizes risk assessment and reduces the failure, and it improves communication system and improves customer satisfaction. Key elements of an effective FMEA are timeless, teamwork, documentation, process, and structured approach. Now let's have a detailed look on FMEA stages. The first stage is background stage. In this stage, the FMEA team is assembled consisting of relevant cross-functional members and objectives, timelines, and roles are agreed, and then background data is collected for team members to review. Second stage is draft stage. In this stage, the team leader drafts the following parts of FMEA form like items or requirements columns, potential failure modes, potential effects of failures, potential causes of failure, and current controls, and this draft is then distributed to the team along with the background data. The third stage is team review stage. In this stage, the team members review the draft FMEA form and identify additional failures modes, effect, causes or controls, and provide preliminary rankings for severity, occurrence, and detection. Team members submit their draft to the team leader. Team leader then adds team's comments to the original form and create a composite FMEA, and composite copies are distributed to the team members for their review. The fourth stage is FMEA meeting stage. In this stage, the team meets to review and discuss the composite form. They reach consensus on severity, occurrence, and detection. They calculate risk priority numbers and develop recommended actions to eliminate risk of failures, and agree on responsibilities and timing for all recommended actions. After that, the recorder completes the FMEA form and distributes it to the team members. And the last and final stage is implementation stage. In this stage, recommended actions are taken to eliminate cause or improve controls, and progress is monitored against plan, and RPNs are revised based on evidence of reduced risk. Now let's see most common problems with FMEA. The first is focus people. It means not involving all of the right people, as executing a FMEA is always a teamwork. And if you don't involve the right people, then there will be lack of involvement and commitment. Next problem is focus process, which includes not performing FMEAs early or timely enough, inadequate linkage to other key activities such as process flow, control plans, and work instructions, omitted process steps such as material handling, rework, and labeling, etc., fail to define the function of system or subsystem being analyzed, and fail to properly identify the customer. And the last problem is focus method, which include not documenting the result in a proper and understandable way, not addressing critical process issues, lack of in-depth analysis of potential failures, effects, and root causes, inconsistent ranking, efforts focused on detection rather than prevention, developing recommended actions that are neither actionable nor executable, applying occurrence and detection too optimistically, and allowing the design FMEA to turn into a design review, not separating clearly of a process FMEA from a design FMEA. The design FMEA addresses a design intent and assume the design will be manufactured to this intent, and process FMEA focus on possible failures that happen during the manufacturing process. According to Jeep Heath, a technique called failure mode and effect analysis, a precursor to pre-mortem that has been used for decades in military and government. Did you find FMEA approach effective or not? We value your inputs in the comments below. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you and your thumbs up. Please subscribe Learn Transformation to see more knowledgeable videos and press the bell icon right next to it. You can also catch us on other handles. Happy learning!